Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Killed Cheese.
Kill cheese. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Am I being mocked?
Never. Maybe. Possibly. Whatever. Hello, everybody.
I'm not letting that go.
Oh, get over it. We are...
Asshole.
Okay. Libby's going to read us another story, of course.
Of course.
As every day she does. Well, every day. A lot of days. It's a little rainy today. A little sad outside. She loves the rain, though.
I was going to say sad.
I like the rain,
It's
too.
a great day today.
It's a great day every day. Doo-doo.
A great day to get spooked. Creeped out.
Mentally fucked. That's what the business we're in. Mentally fucking people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That too.
Not physically, though, you weirdos. Hey, I had to say it, get it out there, man.
I don't think you had to clarify that.
No, maybe I did.
Because you did say mentally fucked.
Hey, some people get confused.
All right.
What's our story?
This is by No Cardiologist 1353.
Okay.
I inherited my grandfather's farm. He left one rule: never go barefoot.
Never go barefoot. I'm a very barefoot kind of person. Okay, we'll find out. We have some little dog nappers.
Dog.
Gotta get the dogs, man.
Protect the dogs.
Protect the dogs. We're talking about feet here, not actual dogs. Some people don't know that. We have some of our audience is older than us. They don't know what the dogs are. We gotta clarify these things.
All right.
Whatever.
Dogs are toes. In case you didn't know.
Especially her toes.
Hey.
Okay, whatever. Let's get to it.
I was never much of a country guy. If I'd had the choice, I would have spent my whole life in a city somewhere, surrounded by people instead of empty fields. But we don't always get to choose, and in my case, death chose for me.
Okay. That's a little weird sentence to start off, but okay. Dark.
I never knew my parents. They died before I was old enough to recognize their faces. I remember looking at their pictures in my grandparents' home as a child and knowing I should feel some connection to them. But I never did. They were strangers to me. My grandparents on my mother's side raised me, and growing up, I occasionally heard rumors of my father's dad, my other grandpa. I never met him, but he has changed my life, and not for the better. Damn, Grandpa. I'll never forget that day. I was days away from graduating university with a degree in social studies when I received a package in the mail. It informed me that my grandfather, Arnold, who had lived in Oklahoma, had passed away. And to my shock, he left his entire estate to me. I reread the legal papers several times, and what it said never changed. My grandpa left me his farmhouse, 2 barns, and 85 acres of land. At the bottom of the statement was the number of my grandpa's lawyer, whom I was supposed to call.
Gonna be a farm boy.
No, my steak is too juicy and my lobster too buttery. Damn.
My God.
I didn't want to get my hopes up in case there was a catch, so I wasted no time and dialed the number. Thank you for calling Hartman & Co. How may I help you? A pleasant yet professional female voice answered. Yes, hi. I received a package regarding my grandfather's estate, and I'm supposed to talk to Mr. Hartman. I'm not very good at talking on the phone. One moment, she replied before the line went on hold. It didn't take long for the deep, smooth voice of an older man to fill my ear. This is Hartman? Yes, Mr. Hartman, my name is Timothy. I believe my grandfather Arnold was a client of yours. Even through the phone, I could tell that Hartman was smiling. Oh yes, Timothy, your grandfather was more than a client. He was a good friend, and I'm so sorry for your loss. I shrugged to myself. I didn't know him, I said. Even still, he was family. Anyway, how may I help you? Yeah, I got your packet and... say no more. You're quite fortunate your grandfather left you his entire estate. I've handled most of the transfer process, but I'll need you to come sign the documents I've sent you and mail them back to me. I'll need you to sign the documents, not come sign the documents.
You about to say, why would they want people? Okay.
Got it, I replied. Anything else? Well, yes, actually. It would be helpful if I knew what you intend on doing with the place. Do you want to sell it, or are you planning on living there? I thought for a moment. On one hand, moving out to the middle of nowhere Oklahoma sounded like hell on earth. But then again, with the current state of the economy, I'd practically given up on the dream of ever owning a house as large as my grandfather's property. So being gifted such a thing was a dream come true.
Well, there you go.
I kind of want to keep it, but I don't know anything about farming. Hartman chuckled. Don't worry about that. Your grandfather himself hadn't farmed the place in years. He rented the acres out to his nearest neighbor, who I'm told wants to keep the same arrangement with the next owner. It would be a decent source of passive income for you. At this, I got a little more excited. Well, all right then, let's do it. I think that's a good choice, son. I'll be in touch, but for now, you take care. With that, he ended the call, and I could hardly believe my luck. My college buddies thought I was insane. You're seriously moving out there? Just sell the dump, one said. I bet I have more brain cells than that entire state combined, another laughed.
Damn. Somebody hates people in Oklahoma.
I don't think it takes only 2 brain cells to rub together to come up with a sentence like that.
Probably.
You'll probably get killed by rednecks, scoffed another, but I didn't care. Most of them were going back to living in their parents' basements while I had my own house and my own land.
Very true.
There you go. Graduation passed, and with it, my college days. Shortly after, I had all the contents of my dorm loaded into my aging car, and I headed off to Oklahoma. The drive was long and boring, and I couldn't afford to stop for the night, so I continued after dark. It was well after midnight by the time I pulled off the highway onto a dirt road. I followed the road for nearly an hour and only passed 2 or 3 other farms. With no streetlights, my headlights illuminated the road and nearby fields in a pale, washed-out glow that was consumed by darkness mere feet in front of the car. I was beginning to think this was a mistake when I reached the property at the end of the road, my grandfather's farm. My farm. I don't think I've ever been more nervous than I was in that moment. Before my stopped car was the hulking, completely lifeless shape of my new home. It's the same boxy farmhouse style I had seen many times on my journey, only quite larger and better maintained than most. I remember trying to calm my nerves as I exited the car. As I walked to the front porch, the silence of the night was overcome by the noise of 1,000 bugs, clicking, chattering, and chirping. It was deafening, and up until that point, I had never experienced such a sound.
Yeah, you're in the middle of Buffalo nowhere. There's gonna be all kinds of crazy ass noises.
Some cicadas are loud.
Loud as fuck.
I remind myself this was going to take some getting used to. Reaching the front porch and the door, I was greeted by a lone key and a little note that read, "I'll be by in the morning. Have a good night. Signed, Hartman." Taking the key and note, I unlocked the door and entered. The place was old and rather traditional, but well maintained. And from what I could tell, the furniture and appliances were fairly new and updated. The ground floor of my home has a large entryway, a full bathroom, a spacious living room, a dining room, and a kitchen, as well as a smaller office and a home library, all of which I walked through, arriving at the kitchen in the back of the house last. As I entered the kitchen and turned on the lights, I was impressed by how large it was. But more than that, I was taken aback by what I found on one of the walls. Directly across from the fridge and cabinets, a message had been carefully carved into the wall.
Carved in the wall? The fuck? I don't like this.
It read, "Keep your boots on, even in the house. Never go barefoot." At the time, I didn't think much of it. In fact, I chuckled and said to myself, weird. I suppose I can blame my indifference on exhaustion, because after that, I quickly found the stairs and entered the first bedroom I found. I didn't bother changing my clothes or taking my shoes off. I simply collapsed on the bed and fell asleep.
Fucking feet on the bed. Come
Shoes
on.
on the bed. No shoes on the bed, bro.
What did I say? Feet?
Yes.
Oh, well.
You put your feet on the bed.
I don't. Mine hang off every day.
You're full of it.
A little bit.
I wanted to sleep in, but the noise of the countryside was nearly as loud as the city sounds I was used to. It seemed to me that the chirping insects were right on the other side of the window or even in the walls. Despite my rude awakening, I chose to make the most of it by getting up and exploring the upstairs. The second floor held 2 more full bathrooms, one of which was attached to the master bedroom. In addition to the master, there were 3 other bedrooms and several storage closets. Checking my phone, I was rather surprised to notice that there was a Wi-Fi network to connect to. I hadn't really expected that here in the middle of nowhere, and to my amazement, it was pretty fast, seemingly faster than the Wi-Fi back in my dorm.
Got fucking Starlink now, bro. Get internet anywhere.
Grandpa got Starlink.
Something.
Who's paying for it?
Fucking Grandpa?
Grandpa's dead,
He just died, bro.
I guess. Going downstairs, I stood in the living room and took it all in. In that moment, I convinced myself that living in the sticks was a sacrifice worth the home I now had. I couldn't believe it was really mine. Stepping out onto the porch, I marveled at the land that was hidden from view in the dark of night. It was vast and empty. In every direction, it seemed like the land went on for as far as the eye could see, with very little variation. In that moment, I felt completely and utterly alone, as if I were the only human left on earth, lost in an ocean of wheat. As I stood there in the distance,
Doesn't make very much sense.
As I stood there in the distance, I think there's a comma missing there. As I stood there in the distance, I noticed a line of dust, I think this is supposed to say.
Dust, yes.
Yeah. I noticed a line of dust rising in the distance and making its way toward my location. I hope that's just a car, I muttered to myself. It was a car, or rather a truck, a well-maintained silver pickup that parked near the porch, and an older man stepped out and headed my way. He wore a white button-down and gray slacks. On his feet were dirty work boots, and on his head was a weathered cowboy hat. He reached his hand to me. Timothy, I presume? I'm Hartman. Nice to finally meet you in person. I met his handshake. Same. May I come in? I ushered him in as he removed his hat once inside. Just wanted to pass off the deed to the place and welcome you to the area, he said as he passed a large envelope to me. Everything to your liking? I nodded and said, yeah, actually better than expected. I wasn't expecting Wi-Fi here. Oh yeah, I forgot you probably didn't know much about old Arnold. Nearly a decade ago, he was in a bad farming accident, and they had to amputate his right leg. But Arnold still found ways to be useful and started as an online professor for the local community college. That's why he had the Wi-Fi installed.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Really? I had no idea. What did he teach? He thought for a moment. Best I can remember, he was a lecturer on Oklahoma's unique bugs and parasites.
Interesting.
Bugs? Mm-hmm. He was something of a local expert on that. I nodded and remembered the words carved into the kitchen wall. Hey, before you leave, could you maybe look at something for me? I led him to the kitchen and pointed out the message. Any idea what that means? He stared intently at it for a while, and for a moment I thought I caught a glance of some dark understanding before he declared, Sorry, not sure. Probably just the ramblings of a man near the end of his life. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I bet the local hardware store could sell you something to cover that up. Then he nodded and headed for the door.
Yeah, that's something that's going on.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Not at all. Why do you hesitate? What are you doing? What do you know? Tell us.
Tell us. I need to be getting back, but you take care. With that, he was gone. I needed supplies. The kitchen was empty, and I had brought very little with me, so I found myself back in the car, heading to town. The nearest town, large enough for a shopping center, was about 45 minutes from my farm, a drive I still hadn't gotten quite used to. This town is home to a well-worn Walmart and a few other smaller stores. For my needs, it's enough. That day, I spent several hours exploring all it had to offer. It was mid-afternoon by the time I headed home. I unloaded the car, and upon entering my home with the final load, I shut the door instinctively and removed my shoes.
Don't listen to the wall.
I should have known something was wrong. The floor felt odd. It was warm, almost like stepping on some living creature.
Ew.
What?
The fuck? Who'd think that? Yeah, the floor is warm. It's a living creature. What a weird... Why would you describe it like that?
With the warmth came a strange sensation on my feet. Almost like hundreds of microscopic feet crawling all over the arches of my feet.
Ew. What the fuck?
I looked down, expecting to see a fly or some other insect walking across my foot, but there was nothing.
This is weird. I don't
This
like
is
that.
really
Not
weird.
at all.
After a few moments, the crawling faded into the familiar pins and needles sensation of a foot falling asleep. A few seconds later, that disappeared too. My foot felt normal, though the floor remained warm. I shrugged, thinking I had nothing to worry about since the strange sensation had passed.
I have a feeling it has to do with Grandpa losing his leg or something.
Probably.
So I guess if you walk on it too long, maybe.
I don't know. I think we're about to find out.
Eats it. Takes it away.
I spent the rest of the day watching movies and eating ramen in the living room before falling asleep on the couch. I don't remember exactly when I woke up, but it was closer to dawn than midnight. I didn't awake because I heard a sound or needed a drink. No, what woke me up was an unbearable itch on the bottom of both of my feet. It was terrible. No matter how much I itched, it wouldn't go away. It was as if the itch was deep beneath my skin, not just on the surface. I itched my feet with my hands, a towel, even a brush, but nothing worked. If anything, the itch seemed to be getting worse. First, it was on the arches of my feet, then it moved to the pads and even the toes, and soon my entire foot was inflamed with the deep itch I couldn't reach.
There's something in your foot.
I must have sat there scratching my feet for an hour or more. The skin of my feet was red and tender from all my efforts, but the itching continued.
Is there a reason? I mean, I feel like there's a reason Grandpa was very well known with bugs and parasites.
Mm-hmm.
Parasites from the floor?
Maybe. Not sure what to do, I hobbled my way up to the shower. Stepping in, I turned on the water, hoping for some relief. Instead, what I got was sudden pain, like thousands of tiny cuts that appeared all over my feet. I screamed and jumped out of the shower. The pain left, but the itching was worse. I continued itching until the sun rose. As daylight filled the room, the itch became dull and eventually disappeared altogether, leaving only a dull tingling in its place. Exhausted, I made my way to the bed I used the first night and fell into a deep sleep. When I woke, it was nearly 3:30. The afternoon shadows grew long, and my feet itched again. Not as they did before, but a manageable, albeit constant, itch. I made my way to a chair and examined my feet, which were red and covered in tiny raised mounds. It looked like I had a bad rash. I cautiously touched one of the larger bumps and recoiled my finger instantly. Touching it caused a sharp burst of pain to echo through my foot like a vibration in a spider's web. I winced in pain and realized something was seriously wrong. I needed help, but not knowing what to do, I did the only thing I could think of. I opened ChatGPT.
Hey. Well. Go to the fucking
Chatty.
doctor.
Chatty.
Chatty. Chatty.
My feet are red and itchy, and there are tiny bumps all over that are painful to touch. What do I do? Is what I typed into the chatbot.
Go to the doctor.
I still have its response. It said, red, itchy, painful bumps on your feet could have several causes, including irritation, infection, or bites. Avoid scratching, keep the area clean and dry. If the pain worsens, spreads, or you develop swelling, fever, or trouble walking, seek medical care. For a time, that response calmed my nerves. Perhaps I was having a reaction to something in the air that I had never encountered in the city. Maybe this isn't really a big deal, I thought as I slowly walked down the stairs to the kitchen. There, I lathered my feet in VapoRub before heading to the living room. The evening was fairly normal. For several hours, I had forgotten about the pain in my feet as I sat on the couch watching an old movie. But then I began to notice an alien tingling touching my lower legs, right around my ankles. I tried to ignore it, but failed when the tingling turned to the deep itching I felt last night. I couldn't bear it, and almost against my will, I found myself hunched over, wildly scratching the skin of my legs.
So it's spreading. That's why Grandpa cut his leg off.
Didn't ChatGPT say to keep it warm and dry? Why are we rubbing VapoRub all over it?
I don't fucking know.
Every few minutes, I'd promise myself I was done scratching. I'd sit on my hands, grit my teeth, and stare at the television until the itch became unbearable again. Before I realized what I was doing, my fingernails would already be digging into my ankles. I don't know when I noticed, but as I was worried about my legs, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed that the bumps on my feet had grown. They were massive. Some of them were 4 or 5 times the size I remembered. It looked like my feet had been attacked by a swarm of bees. The bumps were swollen and engorged. They stretched the skin like a ripe tomato. Cold sweat ran down my forehead. I could feel adrenaline filling my veins. This was bad. Something was seriously wrong with me. I shambled my way up to the stairs to the master bedroom. In the bathroom, I found a pair of tweezers. I sat on the toilet, turned on my phone light, and slowly moved the tweezers towards the biggest bump on my right foot. Bro.
Pop it. Pimple popper.
The moment the steel tip of the small tool touched the top of the bump, it moved. I swear it moved.
Grandpa fucking told you leave the shoes on.
No.
So what we do?
Should've listened to Grandpa.
Let's do the. I mean, if it's one day, like it's from maybe a random letter, right? Maybe it's a prank. It's carved into the fucking wall. There's a fucking reason.
I know. I blinked quickly, hoping it was just a trick of the light. Then I moved the tweezers to touch it again, but this time it moved the opposite way.
Oh, that's fucking disgusting.
I clenched my jaw as I realized there was something alive beneath my skin. I swallowed hard, mustered my courage, and pushed the tweezers down hard on the bump. At this, the bump quickly moved from the top of my foot up past my leg, past my ankle. Up to my leg, past my ankle.
Fuck no.
The movement was shocking, and I was on the verge of hyperventilating. With a shaking hand, I reached to touch the bump again.
Let's keep touching it till it's in my asshole. Let's just keep going, or it's in my nuts. What is he doing? It's going to keep going up. It's going to be inside you, bro. In worse places in your fucking leg. It gets much worse. Go higher it goes.
With a shaking hand, I reached to touch the bump again. The tweezers barely touched the bump when it bolted up my leg, past my knee, past my thigh, and I felt it collide with my hip joint.
Okay, at least it didn't go in your nuts. Your pecker could have been way worse situation.
The suddenness and pain of a ping pong ball sized mass moving up my leg was too much for me, and I passed out. When I came to, I was still on the bathroom floor. I didn't know how long I had been out, but my legs were unrecognizable. My left leg, below the knee, was swollen twice its size and covered with massive greenish-gray orbs.
Ugh. What the fuck? That's why Grandpa cut his leg off. He started seeing shit. He's like, nope, I ain't doing this.
Yep.
Because it's obviously spreading.
Obviously.
You cut the leg off. So with Grandpa, why wasn't both feet on the ground? Did he fall asleep with one leg on the ground? And he's like, then fucking.
Or maybe his shoe maybe his shoe came off. And he, was hopping on one foot and accidentally touched the floor. I don't know.
Who knows?
But it was nothing compared to my right leg, which looked more like an elephant's leg, though covered with tennis ball sized mounds with a blackish hue.
Oh my God.
As I moved from side to side, I could hear a squishy liquid sound coming from the mounds.
Oh my God.
This is so gross.
Fucking disgusting.
I panicked. I had to get out of here. I needed a doctor. It took a great bit of effort and pain, but I pulled myself to the staircase. I tried my best to guide myself down the stairs, but ended up losing control and tumbled to the bottom.
Oh, no. Where are they going to go now?
At the bottom, I tried to make it to the door, but a sharp pain in my right leg stopped me. I screamed and looked at my leg, and it was vibrating violently, and after a moment, a loud squelching pop and a splatter of hot pus silenced the movement.
I'm worried right now. I'm trying to picture this in my brain. I want to die.
I wiped the pus off my face.
Oh, God.
Looked down at the leg.
Fucking money shot on his face.
Bro.
It's awful. Of all the places, your face? God damn.
Wherever a bump had been was now a black, bloody hole.
At least it's out. Oh my God.
My leg looked like a log attacked by a dozen woodpeckers. Not 1 inch of my skin was without a hole.
Ugh.
As I looked at the myriad of holes, I felt vomit rising in my throat as I noticed something thin push through one of the holes.
Yep.
Slicked with blood.
Well, it's growing. We know it's growing. It's like eggs. We know it's growing shit. We just don't know what it is.
It writhed blindly across my skin before another followed, and another. Long, pitch black worms poured from my leg.
Yeah. Sound about right.
With fumbling hands, I pulled my phone from my pocket and dialed 911.
It could be worse.
911.
It could be spiders. It could be so much worse.
I don't know. 911, what's your emergency? Help me. Please help me. I screamed as a long, thin worm crawled on the back of my hand. It felt cold against my skin. Again, darkness closed in and I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was in the hospital, and I didn't take it well. I screamed and thrashed around in the bed, and it didn't take long for doctors to rush in and restrain me. After I calmed down,
Both his legs are gone.
After I calmed down, a tall, well-kept doctor came in. Good afternoon, Timothy. How are you feeling now?
What a thing. You have worms crawling on your legs, and you wake up. Oh, hi. How are you?
How are you feeling now?
Terrible.
Better, I replied weakly. Good, he nodded. You've suffered a severe parasite infection. Unfortunately, we haven't yet identified the parasite. Nothing we remove matches any known parasite, but I'm quite certain we have successfully removed all of them from your body.
I told you. Your grandpa, it's why he studied parasites.
He gently removed the blanket from my lower half.
No legs.
As he did, I looked down and gasped. I'm sorry to say that we had to remove your right leg.
Oh.
It was the only way to ensure that the infestation did not spread. He drew attention over to my left leg. Thankfully, your left leg wasn't nearly as serious. We were able to stop the parasites by just removing certain sections of your leg. I stared down in shock at my new leg, which looked like they took a massive cheese grater to the flesh of my leg and shaved off the layers until they stopped just short of my leg bone. Several of my colleagues are hopefully optimistic that you will regain movement in your leg, he said with a half smile.
A half smile. Good luck. Have fun.
I'm writing this from a hotel room 3 states away. I abandoned everything I owned on that farm. The sheriff can keep the property for all I care. I was released from the hospital almost a week ago, and after they held me for 2, and there was no way I would even go back to my farm.
Well, you just keep your shoes on. So he told you keep your shoes on.
Keep your shoe on.
Oh, now it's shoe. Now, what if you like crisscross applesauce? It's bumps in your ass.
Ew. I wanted to write this all down before things get worse. I first felt the tingle in my right hand 2 days ago, and yesterday the unstoppable itch began. As I type this, I have to stop every few sentences to scratch my hand. The bumps haven't appeared yet, but I know they will. I'm going to stop it before it grows. I hope my knife is sharp enough, and I hope this will stop the spread.
Was that it?
The end.
He's fucked. Let's be honest.
That was a ride. That was a wild
terrible.
ride.
I hated it. Bumps. Ugh. Big tennis ball sized bumps in your leg. Ugh.
Hated the content, but the story.
The story was great.
The story was great.
Just
it was
actually sitting there imagining like
horribly descriptive. Horribly descriptive.
Great writing though.
Absolutely.
But fuck you. You mentally fucked. You mentally fucked me. That's how I feel. I feel violated.
Oh, comments.
Let's hear it.
Very nice effort. That was a really creepy story.
Thanks.
Understatement.
Bro.
Thanks, Grandpa, for the parasites.
No. It's your goddamn fault. Grandpa tried.
Grandpa really did try. He carved it in the fucking wall. This is not Grandpa's fault. Engaging and flows well. Pretty good.
He could have wrote him a letter, though. Like, I'm glad you're here. Taking over the farm.
He died.
But
He's
he
dead.
know why. He know why he lost his leg. No, he had an accident like 10 years ago. Then he could have like wrote a letter or something.
Or put it in his will with the...
Don't walk fucking barefoot.
You would think carving it in the wall, though, would be enough. Anyway. Good story. I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
Your grandpa was an ass.
He should have explained a little more, but he tried.
Wow, the story was pretty great. It got under my skin, pun intended.
LOL.
I noticed they're just talking about some grammatical errors.
No, fuck
It's Reddit.
off.
It's Reddit. It'll be okay.
Either way, great story. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was a ride. I'm a little nauseous, but that was great.
Either way, you can send us your stories at killedcheese@outlook.com.
Yep. Or if you have a story on Reddit, you can send it to us on Reddit as well. We're Killed Cheese on Reddit.
Killed Cheese Podcast. It's
Or
one of the
Killed Cheese
two.
Podcast. There you go.
You'll find us. If we have a page, just post it there. Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
Or you just message it any platform you want. But either way, we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.